coffee a century ago, and I was just blown away by how beautiful the island was.
Corozal?
No, Yauco.
Oh, Yauco.
And so I'm in the mountains with this guy, and I just kept thinking, this is 1976, I have to come back. And then years later, I'm looking at trying to start a coffee farm, and this was going to be the place. It had to be here. Partly because it's part of the U.S., so it makes my import-export situation easier to deal with. And partly because I'd been here, and the people are so great, and the soils, the climate, I was never going to have to worry about a frost. So that eliminated Florida. And if you look at the lower 48, the only place in the United States, in the continental U.S., that's tropical is Key West. Everything else, everywhere else, you have a risk of temperatures in the low 30s, potential for a frost.
Right.
1980, I think they saw snow falling over the Everglades.
Why didn't you choose Hawaii?
It never reached the ground.
No, I don't think it made it. It was like a. Most of it didn't even touch the ground.
Yeah.
It was only a few minutes.
But I'm just saying, those few minutes would take out your whole mangosteen orchard. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Why not Hawaii?
Hawaii already was doing it. I got my material from Hawaii. A lot of the rambutan are from there. And it's too isolated. And to be honest, I love Hawaii. Probably it's one of my favorite places in the world. But this is closer to the mainland. And all the mangosteens from Hawaii have to be irradiated.
But you were going into coffee, so...
I was starting in coffee, and then I switched over to the fruit trees that were in that article.
So when you were originally buying your land, you were just looking for land for coffee?
I was, yeah, and I was at a much higher altitude for that. And then once I realized I was going to do mangosteens, I had to leave that area and come down to a lower altitude. And this farm runs from about 250 up to a little over 900 feet above sea level. It seems higher, but that's it. That's where we are at. So closer to the sea, I've got the heading down here. The higher humidity. The rainfall goes down as you head to the sea. So if you go up to El Yunque or up in the mountains towards Maricao, they have a lot more rain than I do, maybe 20 inches per year, but this had enough. So I did my driving around. I saw mangosteens scattered around the island, came back here, and pulled the trigger. I don't have to irradiate my mangosteens because of things that happened probably in the middle of the 20th century. They've never seen a problem. They've never seen a pest. They've never had any problems shipping them. So it just came back to finding one insane person with enough time in his hands to do this. So you are eating the result.
Thank you.
The fruits of your labor.
The fruits of my labor.
I'm just curious, why did you want to go into coffee? What was the inspiration?
Here we go.
Oh, you're okay.
Oh. Casualty number one.
Number one, thank you.
So,
No, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I was slipping.
Remember I said the red clay?
Yeah, slippery. Looks like it's got some moss growing on it. So.
That's because nobody slipped it off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm the first.
this is where I did
I'll show you how it goes.
I did it the same, but I actually went the whole distance.
Oh,
And then I landed down here somewhere. I was alone, which was good. There's no proof. But what a trip. I was like mud skiing.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what was your last question?
I was just wondering, like, why you chose coffee. Like, really?
I thought I could do a better job than the commercial coffee that was coming from most of... Here's some
son of a bitch.
There's a durian.
So I was going to do gourmet coffee, and I actually read 2 monographs on coffee.
Have to edit
So when
that
I came
out.
down here, I was ready. I knew my cultivars, and I got brochures for what to do, and they were dated
Filming
1950.
wasps. I must have got into some wasps. They were on me.
Oh, no kidding.
What's happening?
Wasps.
And I thought, I can do better. I can grow really high quality, premium grade coffee, and then go the earth one fruit.
No, I didn't. I did carry on.
What were you doing that you were like, I want to go into coffee? Like,
Well,
I mean, you have to really be committed to something to go
I'm
look for
an
land
Aggie,
and-
so it's something that I would want to do because it's a passion for me. And I love a really good cup of coffee, and most coffee is pretty commercial and average. And this island once produced a world-grade Arabica, and I thought it still could. And I read articles about the Blue Mountain coffee and government control, and the farmers get screwed.
Yeah.
So they sell it through a system. They don't do well. They have to warehouse it. It's all government controlled. And here, I can bypass that system and go direct.
Yeah.
So I didn't, as it turned out, but that was where we started.
You're already working with coffee?
No. But I'm from upstate New York, so I know more about coffee than most people. Anyway.
I actually wrote